Is it really worth all the stuff that you got to do on your own? To have your own thing, have your own business, own your shit? It is. Everything going on in our world, you can't trust anybody anymore. It's just getting to the point where people are acting really odd. I just got back from the gas station. They have one pump working because they ran out of fuel. They have regular unleaded with no ethanol in it. Like that for your boats, for your motorcycles, and for your lawn equipment. That's the only pump they had working, and it was packed. It was backed up down the street. And I was getting ready to pull in, and a lady in a moped flies in on me. I was like, "What are you doing, lady?" "Well, I'm out of gas." I was like, "Yeah, that's how people are. They don't care about you when it comes to them being out of gas. And when Mad Max happens, it's going to happen to everybody. And the ball's going to drop out. When the ball drops out, you better be ready. Because I'm ready. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and I already see what's going on. Gas stations are running out of fuel more and more often because of what's going on in Iran. It's not because of the processing here in the United States, because the businesses are all part of the oil industry, and they're all in the same club. They don't care if they have fuel for you or not, because when it comes to the rich millionaires up in the top office, they have fuel for them because they own all the oil rigs and oil processing plants. How do I know this? Because what's that guy's name? He was on YouTube. Grant Cardone. Just saying, he owns his own oil rig, own oil production facility for his own fuel. And he said, I don't have to worry about it, but you do, because all the rich and wealthy are the ones that are putting all these programs together with Iran. They don't care that the gas prices are going up because it's a money game. It's always a money game for top companies. And you guys got to realize that. You got to have your stuff paid off. You got to buy a house that you can afford to buy with cash. And then you can rent rooms out of it, or if it's got a garage, take the garage and make it into a rentable property. That's what I did. Well, actually, this house already had that. I just finished it the rest of the way. It was already done. The only thing about living up north is you got a bunch of loud people with dirt bikes, four-wheelers, and you don't know when they're coming by. I live off these dirt roads, and it's quite fun up here off the lakes. And what to expect is your community. Your community does pull together, even though we all think we're all a pain in the ass. Actually, we all do. They don't really like you very much. And to be honest with you, people don't like people anyway. We all think we're all odd. Humans are odd. Before our first ancestors built the pyramids and all that, I don't know how they all got along somehow. They must have all been enslaved, because I don't know. People are not putting up with people right now. It's just like they don't care. You talk to them, it's like you're talking to a box, and they don't understand that, you have a business. That's how I make it. They don't care. Oh, well, you can't give me deals. Like, no, I can't give you a deal, because if I give you a deal, then I lose out. And if I lose out what I'm supposed to sell this for, then I can't go to my next project. And that's what I do. I flip furniture. I work on homes. I work on digital goods online. I've been doing this since 2011. Since 2011. And I was flipping on eBay back in 1994, 95 when they first started. And that was my first business venture, okay? Even though I was working for other people. And now I'm like, not working for other people. Because other people don't want to pay you. And they don't want to pay you fairly. And then you do work for them. They're like, well, I can't pay you this week. I'm a little low on money. I was like, well, that's not how it works, dude. That's your problem. You're supposed to pay your employees. Well, now they're not doing that anymore. Your own company, you might work for a hardware store, and they might go out of business tomorrow, and you're in your lunchroom while they're turning the lights off, saying, sorry, there's nothing we can do. You get no paycheck. You're done. They just did it to a bunch of people for Tyson's Chicken in a cafeteria. 3,200 people gone. And there is no warning. By law, they're supposed to let you know that they're shutting down. They're not doing that anymore. They're not your friend. They don't care. So I'm telling other people, you know what? You got to look for yourself now. And that's what I'm starting to see. I got a fair price on my rental, and that's why I rented it for, because it was a small little rental, $700 a month. It's a little studio apartment. People are like, I can't believe the price of these little apartments. It's like, hey, things are going up in this world. And if you don't up your prices to compensate for even my tea, okay? My tea went up from 99 cents a box to $3.99 a box. So that's not 30%. That's more like 999%, okay? And people don't realize that we are being gutted in America for no reason. These companies are saying, oh, it's dynamic pricing. It's going to change when the market changes. Like, that's what they did with oil. That's why oil's $4 one day and next day it's $3.99. It's dynamic pricing. And because they know that they own the market. Walmart owns the grocery market pretty much right now. Even though there's other competitors, and they dynamically will outprice them or undercut them because they're the biggest company out there that gets the best prices because they're getting the volume. When you got volume, like McDonald's, they're selling a cheeseburger for $1, but when you sell 10,000 of them a day at 1 penny, your volume is paying for everybody. But that's not happening like that anymore. People are not shopping. People are not out like they used to be, shopping, because ad is in your face every day for that cheeseburger to be 99 cents. Because that ad costs a shit ton of money to put out. And now that product costs a shit ton of money to produce. And that's now they have to change how they price things, so they went to dynamic pricing. And it's just not Walmart doing it. It's every retailer's doing it, so they can get the most money out of their customer, you. And you gotta follow suit. So now the cars are gonna cost $60,000 next year. GM's already upping them 10 grand to compensate for the insurance costs and all the shit for all these vehicles. And now no one can afford the cars. No one can afford the insurance. The gas is $5 a gallon, and they're not doing any of you favors. They're doing stock buybacks for their shareholders and not giving any money back because of stagnant wages. They're not giving you a wage to keep up with inflation because we're being basically bought out of the market. They don't care if you got to live with your relatives for the rest of your life, because that's what's starting to happen. We have plenty of houses on the market because nobody can afford the homes. Everybody's losing them. 21% rate of basically houses being lost. 21% foreclosure rate in our country. That's the highest it's been since 1970s or something like that. It's bad. And in those times we had 15% interest rates. It's the house. When you got a $400,000 house that no one wants, but that's the only thing you can buy because they're forcing you to buy that. And then the car market is competing with the house market now because that's the only way they can stay afloat is to sell you a $50,000, $60,000 rolling trash can and it being not in good quality at all. So people are going back to the used cars. Getting an older 2009 Corolla, 2009 Toyota Corolla, like very good year to say. People are scooping them up and just driving them back and forth to work. I can't afford my truck with $8 a gallon of gas because you decide to go to make a war with Iran. Because all you rich fucks, that's what they did. Now gas prices are going up, and the gas. Look, the gas shareholders of Shell, Citgo, and all these big gas companies are all, hey, we're doing really good right now. The whole world's falling apart, but we're making all this extra money, and we don't care. We don't care that you can't drive back and forth to work, and Home Depot's going bankrupt. They don't care that you can't make it to the grocery store to pick up your groceries and the DoorDash drivers ran out of gas. They don't care. They're making They're making hand over fist over there in the Middle East. They don't care. They don't care that what happens to you. So you need to follow suit. You need to not give a shit no more and take care of you. All right, everybody. So create your own business. The only cash business I can come up with right now is flipping furniture or making digital products. Because you can pick up furniture all day on Craigslist, which is where I started. Then I went to the Facebook Marketplace, found free listings, free furniture like this table right here. It was in the Facebook Marketplace. I picked it up for free. Then the 2 chairs I picked up out of the trash. The 2 chairs are right here. That chair was in the trash, and this chair I'm sitting on was in the trash. So I just put it out here. Something to sit on like last year. You got to make things for yourself in this world, and there's cheap ways to do it. I have a little hatchback car that I picked up all the stuff with. I don't need an old truck. If I need a truck that bad, I'll find someone that's renting one, or I'll find a service that will pick it up for me for cheap. Because I already know I'm going to make my money back on it. Because I'm already working on a few items right now, and then I'd say probably in a few weeks I'll be putting them out, okay, for sale. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I still need to get the other end table, and right now the lady that has it I didn't know she was not open on Tuesdays. But it's crazy, man. We live in the most craziest times right now. We might not, Middle East running out of water, so they might not have any power coming from the Hoover Dam. So you got to really start getting prepared and act now and not act later. Open up your own little shop in your garage or in your house if you lost a job. I don't care where you at in this country. There's always better opportunity out there to make good extra money, even if it's a side hustle. But all right, enough of me. Have a great day, and hey, go ahead and comment below, and if you got an idea, share your idea. Don't forget to subscribe to Instant Results.